paratroops joined the glider-borne units.
Day after day and night after night, the Air Force has been out.
The signal is given and the paratroops pour out of the planes as fast as they can.
The airborne troops fought with unparalleled ferocity every minute until the land forces made contact.
The Royal Enfield Flying Flea is the most fantastic story. Imagine these motorcycles that could be parachuted behind enemy lines. Nothing else had happened like that before, and it's something that's now ingrained in both motorcycling and airborne forces history.
This is such a different story that hasn't been told before. This little lightweight motorcycle that was used to be parachuted from the aircraft to help support the troops, both in frontline combat and also in doing messages around the battlefield.
The availability of a portable, lightweight motorbike was militarily important. And the fact that although they weren't going tremendously fast, they were quite fast enough for army purposes.
So very early on, the idea was to actually issue bicycles to these paratroopers. They would jump with a bicycle attached to them, when on the ground, unfold the bicycle and cycle into the target area. Of course, bicycles are slow, it makes the rider vulnerable, and nobody wants to jump out the back of an aircraft with a bicycle attached to it. Industry needed to step up to the mark, and that's where companies such as Royal Enfield really filled the void.
The existence of this machine meant that commanders could keep in touch with each other. It was quite good at operating under enemy fire and in difficult geographical circumstances.
Because the Flea was so lightweight and could work so well in all terrains, they were able to get through where perhaps heavier vehicles wouldn't.
It was used as infantry transport, so there were many bikes deployed being used by dispatch riders, but it was the Flea that was deemed to be suitable for transporting men into the fight. Heavier units such as artillery made extensive use of jeeps, but for those infantry battalions on the ground, it was the Flying Flea that enabled a large body of men to be able to advance rapidly to engage the enemy.
The Flying Flea was most definitely the most famous Royal Enfield during the war. Even outside of Royal Enfield, it's got such a fantastic story behind it. Nobody else was doing this.
It's impossible to say that the war was shortened by 5 days because of the use of the Flying Flea, but it was a very valuable element for those troops and airborne forces who were using it.
I think many people are unaware of the story, and potentially even unaware of the bigger story of Operation Market Garden and the Arnhem story in general. So it's an important story to tell. It's an important story to put back out there, and we think people will be fascinated by it.